I mean, we want obviously.
Do you want to just riff it and see what happens?
Yeah, might as well. Do you want to riff it or do you?
I mean, like both of us working on it together to riff.
Oh wow. This is
such
an ass.
session going on.
Yeah. So like, you were good at the polter. So I was thinking if you open with that and
Polter. Unheimlich Geräusch wecken uns mitten in der Nacht auf. Und plötzlich erscheinen geisterhaft Gestalten unter ihrem Bett.
Our new favorite rulebook from one of the 2 games we're covering tonight.
You sound like an old German. It's not even a ghost. Like you're about to become a ghost.
It's like an old German man telling us a scary story at bedtime.
Welcome to one of our more relaxed episodes with Dancing with the Bards. We're covering 2 party games today that can be taken with you in a backpack. Tinderblox and DropPolter. These 2 are probably the worst named games that I've ever had, but I think that the scores are going to be a little surprising for you guys this time.
Partying hard with the Bards.
Woo! My favorite thing. This is where Brooke shines. Brooke is a party game kind of girl.
And we got Lawrence with us, joining us again. We haven't had you on since Arcane Academy, which I think was our first year of recording.
Yeah, and
it's been a minute.
Yeah, we're now almost in our 4th.
Yeah, we're at the end of our 3rd, middle to end of 3rd. And then October marks 4.
Yeah,
and it's pandemic time, so that's even longer.
Yeah. This was forming during the pandemic.
Wow. Yeah.
Time. It just keeps moving forward, like it or not.
Yeah. Glad you're happy. It was fun.
Yeah. Glad you're back.
2024. Pandemic's over. I can go home, so we're done. That's it.
You just been continuously recording the whole time.
Close it up.
We've had him convinced that the pandemic's been going on. What have you done?
I can leave. I can go home.
Dobby is a free elf.
But Ian is not.
First you leave me in the past, and now this.
So, we're so jovial. Let's start with DropPolter. That, I think, was what got our spirits up so much. Because we had... Oh, yeah, see what I did there? Spirits.
It's very funny.
So, DropPolter is a hand dexterity game where you have several tokens in your hand and you're trying to quickly rush them out and grab a tiny ghost off of the table. And then you put little things in your hand, little bells. First to 5 bells wins. And it is a blast. I take both of these games to the bar with me constantly. And this is one that most of the women really like. I know you were worried about this, Ian, though.
I was like, I am too clumsy. I'm not going to have any fun. I won the first game.
Yeah. He blew it.
And I was a dick about it too.
Oh yeah, no. He next round he went with his non-dominant hand just to show off.
Yeah, and I almost won. I think I was 2nd place.
Yeah, you were. So number of players. This goes to 2 to 5 players. There's no real way to expand that. Because the tokens are very individualized and you cannot buy extra of them. In fact, you cannot buy this game right now. So there's no way to get those tokens back once you lose them, and you can't add more to the box.
Yeah. That's for number of players?
Number of players, yeah. So I gave him 4.
Because of the...
I was just saying, like, yeah, you can't...
If you lose them, you can't have...
You lose them, you're not going to have new players.
5 people anymore.
Yeah, because if you lose one piece, that's one set for a player.
Unless you replace all objects with one object of something else, and
you could go to Michael's and do that.
Yeah, but that sounds like a lot of effort.
That is a lot of work.
Yeah, I already looked. You can get the same bells, so the tiny little bells, which will get lost constantly. Those you can pick up at craft stores pretty cheap.
That's fair.
What do you guys think?
So I gave it a 4. I thought this was a really nice balance. I feel like 5 is the realistic upper limit of a game like this without it getting too chaotic and crazy. But as far as party games go, I think this is a solid 4.
So you might have noticed that our mic sounds a whole lot better than our last 2 to 3 episodes. Enough that...
Don't jinx it yet.
Yeah, you can't. Don't say it now. Say it at the end.
I hope so.
Something's going to happen now. Now the mic is going to catch on fire.
I had to switch the paper I had because I didn't know which one we were starting with first.
Oh, sorry. We were having so much fun. I wanted to start with what caused us. Such giggly little monsters.
Of the two, this is my favorite. I'll start that off right now.
Yeah.
I actually thought it would be the other way around. For a number of players, I gave this a 3. I think for a party game, 5 is kind of on the lower end. I've seen them with lower, but that's why it's a 3 and not like a 2. But a lot of party games are meant for more people than 5, and especially if you have, like you said, the option to lose a piece and suddenly you're down to 4.
Yeah, Mr. Social over there with all the friends. Yeah, it's also really fun to play with too. I will say, even in the smaller ones, it gets a little more competitive.
Mm.
I gave it a 4 for number of players. I think that 4 is just perfect. You get to have 4, you get all people involved, you have a good time. I think that they did a really good job with that.
Okay, comprehension. There's one rule. Don't put the small ring on your thumb and don't drop any of the bells. I don't think it can get... it can get much clearer, and that's the other game we're covering. But the rules are simple. They do have the cheat sheets. There's 4 of them because it's an English game, so it comes in 4 different languages. And it's mostly pictures to help with that, so it's very clear on the rules. I gave it a 4 for comprehension.
Same.
Me too.
Yeah, 4 for comprehension. We did notice one weird thing about it that I guess that's not going to bring in a comprehension, but it's definitely I'm going to mention it in customization a bit.
Yeah.
But the cards are different color for some reason, and it's not really clear as to why. They just kind of are. I
just thought it was an aesthetic choice. It's a very aesthetic
They
game.
match up to the colors of the props, and I think I had like an idea for what you could do with that. But it doesn't, as far as I can tell, the rules didn't actually say anything about why that was.
This definitely does seem like a game that could be pretty customized in the way you play to increase difficulty, but we can talk about that in customization later.
I just don't want anyone to get confused. They open this up like, why are these different colors? No one knows.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty. Sometimes it just has to be pretty.
I don't believe you. There has to be a reason.
For paraphernalia, I only gave it a 2 because the losing a piece is catastrophic to the game. Like, if you lose everything, or if you lose even a piece, you're down a player. And there's no way to get that piece back. You can't call the company and try and get it. That's the only problem I have, and they're not things that you can find in the craft store easily or make on your own easily.
Yeah, that ghost you'll have to make your own.
No, the ghost is fine. It's more like the waffle shape and the ring.
Use a piece from the Chex, like a bag of Chex Mix.
I can be pretty creative. I feel like you can find ways around it. And just be like, if you ever see the waffle thing, that's a Chex piece now.
Just get a bag of Chex Mix.
I couldn't find any red blocks, so we have blue.
Yeah, here's some dice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could use, like, Chessex dice for that. Like, a box. Yeah.
Honestly, like, I not to take away from your point at all, but I feel like this game would somehow be more fun if you just, like, use random crap from your pockets. Use, like, quarters instead of the ring, or just use a ring.
I have a game that's similar to that, not like a pickup skill game that we'll cover one day, by Elm Street Games, who is like a local game store here, called Trash Talk, where you just try to barter and trade with pieces of like garbage litter that come in the box, like old toys and stuff.
I'd be all for that.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
That'll be something we'll cover one day.
Yeah,
it does sound fun.
But the talk of garbage pieces just got me going on a tangent. I gave it a 4 for paraphernalia. I didn't really think of the whole it's discontinued thing while I was making the score sheet. I feel like, with the exception of the fact that you can't get any pieces anymore, you don't actually need anything else for this game other than just you don't even really need a flat surface.
No.
Yeah. You could play this in the grass, and as long as you make sure you don't lose the pieces, you're fine.
That's why I checked on the bells.
Yeah.
And their availability, because the bells are like the size of a pinky nail. They're very tiny.
You only need so many bells. It's only so many people are going to get to 5.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why there's 21 bells.
Yeah, I think for paraphernalia, I gave it a 4 just because, like you said, you don't really need to bring anything to the game. I think I agree with what you're saying, that it kind of sucks that it doesn't have like replacement pieces, so that could be an issue. But honestly, the fact that you don't have to bring anything to it was pretty positive for me.
Yeah. I think I'm just spoiled now with like Wingspan and stuff.
Stonemaier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stonemaier always has pieces available, so I'm spoiled now.
Yeah, there's a site that Stonemaier Games does a few different ones we covered.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go on their website, because they're like these big games engine builders with all these tiny pieces, like the kind of stuff you would see us playing at a game club, and you'd be like, I don't want anything to do with that. And but you can go on their website for each game, and you're like, they can sell the pieces individually for all the pieces.
Yeah, so if you lose something or if
Yeah.
it gets broken, they make sure you can still use the game.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a neat feature.
Yeah.
I don't expect that kind of love and care out of a party game, I'll be honest. Like, I'm sure they love their product, but no one loves their product or makes enough money off their product to warrant that for a party game.
So this is Oink Games. And they're probably the only party game producers that I could see wanting to do that. They're very much artist first, and they're very pride in their products, and they always have weird little, like, on this one it has a whole paragraph describing the scene as you're fighting off ghosts. But, yeah. But,
In multiple languages.
In multiple languages. So many languages. Onomatopoeias don't translate always.
I think other languages just have different onomatopoeias. And
Yeah, but it doesn't translate to, like, we read some of them and we're just cracking up.
ghosts have speak different languages too. You know?
I guess so. But if anyone was going to do it, I think Oink Games would. So I'm kind of hoping that they re-release this game and then also really invest in their product. It's a good one.
Fair. Yeah. So setup, I think. Did anyone have an issue with setup here?
Nope.
Yeah, 4.
Solid 4.
Pick up the pieces, and they even have the pieces shown on the box and what you need in your hand. So it's.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. That's not supposed to go off.
It's the poltergeist.
No.
Why did you guys invite me?
Polter.
Someone just said that back
That's gonna be how we greet each other from now on.
Yeah.
Polter.
Every time I sneak up on Will in the warehouse, when I get right behind him, I'm going, Polter.
I'm gonna drive that forklift into something when you do that. It's gonna get Polter. I'm gonna swerve right through the garage door.
That's how. So just to clarify, that's how the German rules start off. It starts with a boo, Polter. And it is just the funniest thing in the world to us that German ghosts sound like Pokemon.
It hit right. It just hit right.
Maybe someone should make that their text message today. Always say, ding, ding, Polter.
We could do that for the Discord. I need someone we just have that for the time, like Larry's burp, and add it to a soundboard.
Oh my god, yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
I'll isolate it for you.
Yeah, setup for me was a 4.
Yeah.
It was solid. Anyone else have something different?
No,
I feel like we all feel pretty strongly on that one. It could not be easier to set up.
Rate of play, I gave it a 4.
4.
I gave it a 3.
Okay. Such accusation.
I don't know. It moved pretty quick for the most part, but I don't know. It felt as we were going through it. It's not as much that the gameplay slowed down as just kind of my interest kind of waned a little bit at times.
It's just it's too easy for you.
Also, the matter of deciding who's going to pick the cards.
Yeah.
Also was more of a chore because everyone knows you're at a disadvantage if you're the one picking the card. You're not paying as much attention. Someone else might see it first. You have one hand across the table. It can slow you down.
See, I love pulling the cards because I get so excited to see what's coming next. It's the ADHD. Brain worms go, yee!
But that was my only small detriment on that.
Yeah. It's a valid point. It's very fair. This just, because everything's so shiny and jingly, my ADHD loves it. So I'm engaged more than most games.
Also, my method of playing had me with my wrists out open the whole time, so all I could focus on was, my wrist really hurts.
So, sidebar, this is why I bought it for the occupational therapist at my school, because it's a fun game that helps get your hand dexterity up, and it's not them doing, like, regular exercises. Could be a fun game that she can put in and still have it have value. And it's honestly, she's really loved it, and the fifth graders have too, to the point where I might have to buy one for my classroom, which stinks because now I'm going to have to buy it in Japanese because that's the only thing available for twice the price I paid for the first one. I got it for $15. It's now going.
Are there no used copies or anything?
I didn't see many. Party games don't really come up for resale that often.
Fair.
So we're on Rate of Play?
Yep.
Rate of Play, I think I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4 just because it's very fast-paced, and I like fast-paced games myself. Yeah, you just go boom, boom, boom. There's a lot of laughs, a lot of fun to be had. I thought it was good.
Oh yeah, and then when one of the pieces sticks in your hand funny and you're having to show your friend, like, this is why I lost.
Yeah.
I can't get it off of my hand.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Skill issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Got hyperhidrosis like me. Nothing sticks. I also gave it a 4 for Rate of Play. Like you said, Lawrence, this is just a nice, quick, boom, boom, boom kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice and fun.
On to difficulty curve. I'm kind of looking around, and I might have a differing opinion than most. So I gave it a 2 for the difficulty curve, because it definitely gets easier when you know the game, and then it kind of gets a little less fun. Like you were talking about that before. It wasn't challenging. All you could focus on was the wrist pain. So I feel like the more you play it, unless you're changing up the people you're playing it with.
I wouldn't say it wasn't challenging. It was definitely a challenge. There were moments that the only reason I got the bells first is luck.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's a distinction we need to make when rating this. A lot of the times with games, when we talk about difficulty curve, it's the rules or the game itself actively getting difficulter the further we progress.
Yeah.
In this case, we're adding bells to our hand. It becomes physically more difficult to move the things around your hand without dropping the bells. And for that reason, I gave it a 3.
Okay.
A good 3. Not like this is unbelievably difficult, but
to me, that was where the Achilles heel in this is just the more you know, it just kind of becomes robotic after a while, unless you're playing with new people who are trying it for the first time or you're having a really good laugh.
That is true, yeah, we did do because it is most of our first time playing.
Yeah. So, like, I've played a decent amount in the bars and stuff, and it's fun with new people, but if you keep playing it with the same people, unless you keep imbibing, it kind of loses its sparkle.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hold up. I was going to say one idea. Take a shot every time you lose.
I was about to say the same thing. Great minds think alike, Lawrence.
Yes.
This is a great way to have a drinking game. You drop a bell, you chug. You take a shot.
We should do this.
Hey, I'm down.
If you drop an item that you're not supposed to, you drink. If you drop a bell, you take a shot. Yeah.
You just want something to rival the Pokemon drinking game. That's all I'm hearing.
I don't think you could. The Pokemon drinking game will destroy anyone.
Yeah, for sure.
But I gave it a 4 for difficulty curve. I didn't really see the difficulty of this affecting anything. It's just very straightforward. I guess I could see it deteriorating over time, but we already have solutions to that.
If you've already figured it out, I was just kind of going based off of like what's set in front, which is why it's great to have more than one person on a podcast talking about liking a game or not liking a game.
Yeah. So going into that then, real quick, is the thing I was talking about earlier. We're going right into customization.
Yes.
I gave it a 2 for customization. For the most part, there's not a whole lot you can do with this. I mean, we already came up with ideas since I gave it a score, so tentative 3, I guess, but I'm going to stick with that 2 for now, because you can't really change out pieces or anything like that.
Yeah.
You can just add rules. Yeah. But one thing that I noticed was the color of the cards correspond to items that are on that list, but only one of them. If if you go from this game from you have to drop things in any order to the first thing you drop has to be the color of the item on the card, suddenly this gets a whole lot more challenging.
Yeah.
I do really like that idea, and like you had said earlier too, adding the drinking game element to it. There's a lot of things you can build with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see it more as a toolbox than a standalone game.
That's why I gave it a 4. Just because of the extra rules you can add.
I gave it a 1 myself. I thought, I kind of thought it's pretty much set in stone. It's pretty much like a standalone thing, I didn't think about those other ideas you guys had, so I just thought, you can't really bring your own ideas to the game very much. But I guess you just have to be very creative with it.
It'd be interesting if you had extra pages or something, like extra the cards, so you can make your own or add in like a random piece.
More objects, yeah. That would be good if they had kind of like blank cards. You could just draw in the arrangements for, because they're really just shapes. So
yeah.
You get someone who's half skilled at drawing to draw the shapes on there, and it shouldn't be difficult because you only need one card for each one. It's not like you need multiples to match.
Yeah, and the weight of the paper is not like something you can't find. That's just cardstock. It's not even glossed at all. So you could really print out your own cards and copy them and make your own without it being too much of an issue if you're a little crafty.
I just realized that on the party game scores, we don't have a material section for you to really...
I always use paraphernalia as that, and then it usually comes up at some point. But party games are a different beast,
Yeah.
You can't really... I can't really hold them to the same standards I hold other games. I can say that the boxes lasted in my purse. It won't last as long as the next game we're going to talk about because it's cardboard versus metal. But I try not to go too in-depth and rag on.
No, hearing you talk about cardstock, I was like, oh wait, I feel like we missed something, but no,
yeah, no, it doesn't really matter as much. I will say I don't think these cards will hold up to a lot of water or liquids. So even though I played at the bar, maybe I shouldn't now that I know I can't get another copy. So for enjoyment, do you want to say it on 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
4.
4. Yeah,
Wait, is it actually a 4 for you?
it is 4.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at the wrong sheet for Will's across the table. I'm like, maybe I should let him say 3, but no.
Yeah, no, this is the other one.
Yeah, we don't often cover 2 games because we have 2 different sheets in front of us to try and eliminate the shuffling. So, yeah.
But this is small. They're small games, so they're easy to cover.
They're small games. They're pocket games or backpack games. They're perfect.
So yeah, I had a load of fun playing this. Definitely more than I thought I would. Just from looking over the rules and the pieces, I'm like, oh, this isn't requiring me to be good at things other than thinking.
Yeah, and I will say when you open up the rule sheet for the first time, it's very concerning how long it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they really spell everything out. Like they make sure each thing is covered and talked about. And they use pictures. They make, how do you say it? Not over-invent the wheel. Like they overcomplicate it or they bog it down with too many words. Over-engineered it. Like it's a little too much for something so simple as don't put the ring on your thumb and drop things.
It's elegantly simple.
Yes.
And
and they kind of overdid it with the rules.
Yeah, for enjoyment, I gave it a 4 just because I had a blast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a really fun game.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 4 for recommendation. I would recommend this to anyone. It says that it's for 6 up. I think you could teach younger than 6 this game pretty easily.
You just don't want to meet in the bells.
Yeah, but that's why it's choking hazard. And also tinier hands, harder to do. But understanding wise, younger kids could get this if they have freakishly large hands.
I wouldn't say freakishly large.
Have you ever seen a child's hand? I see them on a daily. They're tiny.
They're like bear paws.
they would need to have bear paws because they.
You start them on the piano young. Get those hands nice and stretched out.
Their hands are like the size of the box. It'd be hard to do.
I gave it a 3 for recommendation. It is a decent amount of fun. I will say now that we know it's also much harder to get.
Yeah.
But that didn't really factor too much into to my score. I'm just thinking like I would have a lot of fun with this and like a small party with people who I might know casually. A lot of our group may look at me if I pull this out and like I'm crazy.
Yeah,
and then they say, "No, we're playing Scythe."
Yeah, or Eclipse, or something.
You don't get to choose games anymore.
If you want us to play, you just let me do it. And I put the big old like dopey girl smile on. I go, "Look at this game, I want to play," and then they'll end up doing it. It's the only thing I have going for me.
For recommendation, I gave it a 4. Yeah, I would recommend this to people. Now, it sucks that you can't get it, really. You have to get the Japanese copy.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I guess maybe the only thing I would say, maybe people with disabilities might have trouble with this.
Yeah.
Because you really have to have dexterous in your hands. I was thinking about my friend Sam. She would probably have a hard time with this just because she's not very dexterous. But honestly, for most people, I think they can get a lot of fun out of this.
Yeah. It definitely isn't one. But neither of these games would be really all-inclusive, I'll be honest. Both of them take a decent amount of dexterity.
Yeah.
Which is why they're so simple. But repay value. I can tell you I've had both of these in my purse for over 3 months now. And I play them once a week. And I've never gotten bored. When I get bored, I go run up to people to have them shuffle the cards. So it's got a lot of replay for me.
Yeah, I also gave it a 4 for replay value. Excuse me. I feel like this is one of those games where the game itself won't get boring. The company around you may get bored of it before the game gets boring.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 for replay value. Did we say how much this is, by the way?
So this was originally 15. It's now up to 27 to 30-ish.
And then shipping.
Like a $5 shipping.
But yeah, I gave it a 3. I would definitely get a lot of use out of it, but probably not as much as a Brooke might.
Yeah, I like making new friends in strange places.
I have enough friends. I don't need more.
I don't.
I need get the side eye from Will. You're already in the group. What do you want?
I know. I was gonna say, I was like, you have like 3 friends, and like 2 of them are cool. But I was like, that means I'm not the cool one.
For replay value, I gave it a 4. I mean, you could just play this over and over again. Honestly, if we had kept going, I would have been fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably could have done another round if we really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
We could still do that.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping after recording.
Which I will say does not come up very often where we go like, after we're done recording, maybe we can play another round.
Yeah. I think one of the few games that we've done that I would really feel that way about was Boop.
Yes, Boop was fun.
Really fun.
And this is definitely on that level of where Boop was at, too.
Yeah.
That's a T-Turtle game, right?
No, that was Smirk and Dagger.
Oh, Smirk and Dagger.
That's the guy who used to come through to Gambit to playtest. I never playtested Boop, but I playtested Menace Among Us and Tesseract, which is their new game.
Neat.
I think Brooke played Tesseract with us.
No, I played Menace.
You were at Nutmeg when we did Tesseract, but I think you were at the other table.
Yeah. I'll relive what was happening some other time.
Sorry.
It's okay.
But, so we did replay value. Would you buy this yourself?
I gave it a 2, which is the most you can give, because I did buy it, and I am trying to buy another copy for school. I've actually bought 2 copies of this because I bought one for OT. So I would buy it.
I would buy this.
Yeah, I'd buy this.
I give it a 2. I would buy this as well.
Okay.
I would if I could.
Ian, what was your score?
36 from me.
38 for me.
38 for me.
37 3/4 is our final score.
You didn't actually say what your score is.
39.
So that comes to a total of 37.75.
All right, so on to our next game, I think.
Yeah, our next game was Tinderblox. Tinderblox is, the best I can describe it is reverse Jenga, where you stack up either logs or fire pieces in a specific order shown on cards. As a little added twist, if there's a small hand on the top corner, you have to use your non-dominant hand to do this. you just knock each other out. So if you have 4 players, you have 4 rounds to go through, or 3 rounds to go through.
I just want to point out that before we get into the number of players, I had to make a slight adjustment. I was looking at that, which I'm now beginning to realize is not the number of players, but how long it takes.
Yeah.
Like 15 people in this game. What?
Yeah, so it goes from 3 to 15 minutes. It's meant for 2 to 6. I would say technically you probably could do those 15 players if you really felt like it, but it would take for goddamn ever.
The last person would get to go before the tower fell.
Just watching this.
I mean, yeah, so you could, but
Guess I'll play
I
next
wouldn't.
time.
Yeah. And this is also for 6 and up because of tiny PCs. And I still think that this is another game where you could explain it to a kid well enough that if you knew they weren't going to eat it, which it doesn't look that edible, so solid.
I don't know, those yellow cubes, they were calling my name a couple of times.
See, I feel more like that with the DropPolter because they're shiny and colorful.
Oh,
and
the ring looks delicious,
I know.
too.
Yeah.
Bad. No.
So if you don't have issues with eating pieces, a smaller child could probably learn this game with you.
But not Will.
Will you have to keep an eye on?
Will's not allowed. Supervision.
Okay. So, Will, now that you know that it's not 15 players...
Or edible.
I mean, I assumed it wasn't edible.
Did you?
4. 4 is my score for number of players. We're just going to drop it here.
I also gave it a 4. I've had a lot of fun with this. When you play with 2 people, it's kind of interesting because there is a way for both of you to win, which is either you run through the cards or you stack up all the pieces. And if you do that, technically you both win. And I love games where there's a draw. I don't always like winning. It makes me feel weird.
I gave it a 4. I mean, 4 people, 6 people, you can have a good time with this,
Yeah, I gave it a 4 as well. 2 to 6 players, I know I just docked a point for 5 on for party, but I think 6 is starting to get up there a bit.
Ian is a fickle grader.
Well, so I feel like
someone's got
3 to 5 is my normal go-to for board games. For party games, I feel like you should have more than 5 if you're doing a proper party game. And so 6 is there, right? 6 is there.
It ekes over your line. I get it.
That's fair.
Yeah, so comprehension, I gave it a 4. It's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing I ever had to look up was what the hands meant. Because the first time I played it, I didn't look at the book. Actually, I lost the book. Yeah, that's somewhere. But the first time I played it, we just played it right out of the box, me and my friend from work. And he was like, what's that hand there for? And I'm like, I don't know. We should look into that. And that's when I found out about the difficulty going back and forth. Although we were fine and had a hard enough time doing it without mixing up the hands. Like, you don't have to use that at all.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 for comprehension as well. I mean, if you can put together a Lego set, I feel like you can do this.
Yeah, 4 for comprehension. I think we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's just stacking pieces and putting them in the right order and knowing your right hand from your left hand. Which, to be fair, is a problem I've had before.
Oh, me too. I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, but as long as you can do those things, that's all you need.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 for comprehension. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm really not good at board games. I find it very easy. I was like, put it on top of here, try not to knock anything over. Simple.
I knocked it over.
It's simple, not easy.
You were out the first round of the first game.
Yep.
You had to sit and watch.
And thus ends Will's, 4-episode winning streak, 3-episode winning streak?
It was a good run.
It was.
It was a good run.
Done in by Tinderblox.
You will be mine, yellow Tinderblock. You are so delicious. Why do you hurt me so?
It's a very good thing that this is the opposite and this game is starting to be everywhere. It's at Barnes & Noble. It's on Amazon. I got it on a sale on Amazon, so you can eat the yellow pieces. You just have to buy me more.
Deal.
Hey, it's good fiber.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of pieces and everything, paraphernalia. I give this a 4. You don't need really anything with this other than a flat surface.
Mm-hmm.
I know that can be harder to come by than some people might think, but not.
Honestly, I played this at a picnic, and we actually used the box itself as a flat surface. So the box is probably the biggest feature for me. It's got a 4 for me. It's metal, which means it can take a beating and can really last in a backpack, but it also means you have a built-in sturdy platform to use. And also, if you really wanted to, I'm sure you could find a square dowel to cut up and color in.
Yeah, that shouldn't be difficult.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 myself as well. I feel like you don't really need anything with this. It's got everything you need right in there. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could add some more blocks. Maybe that would go for customization. But honestly, it's good the way it is. It's like a partner. You don't want to change your partner. You just want to accept it the way it is. So I accept this game the way it is.
Setup?
4.
4.
Everything's in the box. You take it out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even take the pieces out of the box.
So for setup for this game, there is one of the cards has 2 sides, which has 2 different layouts for, you said it, easy mode and
A hard mode.
hard mode, heavy air quotes.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's really easy or hard or just one more option. I think that the side that there's one side where log cross-sects it, and I think that cross-sects, is that the word?
Bisects?
Bisects? It's on an angle. It's on a diagonal between 2 pieces. It makes the letter Z.
Intersects.
Intersects. There we go.
Intersects.
Thank you. So I find that one more difficult because there's less solid ground for you to start building off of. So that's why I call it hard mode.
No, that makes total sense. But yeah, there's really nothing to set up here.
No.
No, this is a very...
And it keeps together well, so you don't lose anything usually.
Ironically, we compared it to Jenga before, but this is way easier to set up than Jenga.
Yeah. I will say, as I'm saying, you can't lose anything. It does come with probably the flimsiest tweezers I've ever used. They are not great tweezers. They actually give you 2 of them because they expect you to lose one. I played with the tweezers once, and it just it didn't help at all.
For setup, I gave it a 4. Yeah, I thought it was good. You don't really need to. You can just play right out of the box. You just play it and have a good time.
Yeah. So you don't even really need to read the rules.
Yeah.
It's kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to read.
I can't read.
There's very little reading in either of these games, really. I know we were saying you can only buy the Japanese version of DropPolter, but as long as you know the rules, you don't really need. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, if you listen to this podcast, you can now play the Japanese version of DropPolter. Although I want you to message us whatever the instruction book is and what the onomatopoeia is for.
A red cube is still a red cube in Japanese.
I just want to know what the sounds are. What sound does a ghost make? What ghost does?
They got some neat sounds.
They
Dogs
do.
go wah, which is great.
Nyan for cat.
Yeah, Nyan.
So if anyone does pick up that copy after this episode, please let me know.
What is the German for calling a cat? I forget what it is, but it's ridiculous. There was some video that was going around TikTok ages ago about calling a cat in different languages, and for Russian it was dus dus dus, and for German it was Garstergott, something like that. Sorry if you're listening to this and you're German, but
please tell us and just accept that we are all doing this in good fun. We make fun of our own language half the time. So, moving from that.
Rate of play. I gave this a 2. I realize I'm probably in a minority on that one, but once again, it didn't really drag as much as it didn't really catch my attention too much. I had way more fun playing DropPolter than this, and for the most part, if you're not doing something else in the the background or having music on or something, doing this in the quiet, I almost was we should put some music on when we're doing this or something.
I was
Just
feeling
'cause
the same way.
If this is the only thing you're focusing on, it's going to be a little dull.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
See,
This
normally where there's music on in the background wherever I am, so it's never really an issue.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I think it is definitely a good game to have, to take out when people are drinking and having fun and talking and everything. But to review it,
Yeah,
it's a very different environment.
yes.
No, I completely agree. Best enjoyed with a beer.
Yeah.
That being said, I still gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4 as well.
I gave it a 4.
I can accept being right. The only thing right.
Okay, customization. Oh, wait, no. I missed one. Difficulty curve. I gave it a 4. This pattern is emerging.
Yeah, I'm beginning to notice a reoccurring theme. That said, I did give it a 4 as well. For the same reason, really, for DropPolter. I keep wanting to call it Poltergeist. I don't know why.
It's a hard name to pronounce.
Polter.
That's it. It's Polter.
I want to say Polter, like the Little Caesars pizza. Polter.
Now I want to eat a poltergeist.
So, difficulty curve. What did you give it?
Yeah, I said 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give it a 3.
4 for me.
4 for me. Any comments on the difficulty of it?
While it's not particularly a difficult game, and it kind of follows the same sort of difficulty curve of Jenga, I feel like a lot of the added difficulty from this game would be drinking or, having a conversation going on in the review setting where we were very quiet and intimately focusing on it. It felt like a good amount of the difficulty kind of dropped away.
I actually will say something that Lawrence mentioned before for DropPolter for the same reasons. If you might struggle with like hand-eye coordination or motor functions, something like this might kind of suck.
My buddy Possum, he has a tremor in his hand, and so he usually plays with me at the bar. I usually win because if you have any kind of like a tremor in your hand or you shake, it's going to be a hard game. There's small pieces. Mm. The tweezers did help him, though. He did use those, and it helped a little bit. But the entire time he was holding his arm with one hand, and then holding the piece, for stability.
That's why I was asking before if it mattered if I had my hand up or on the
I've never played.
Table.
Yeah, when I play, I don't really. I don't think it matters. The rules did not say anything about it. Other than, like, once you put a piece on, it's there. If a piece drops off, you're out.
Yeah, I was not an operation kid.
Yeah. I just wasn't because of the noise.
Mm.
I hate loud noises.
Thank you, same.
Oh, you guys was hate 4th of July.
If I can see it, I like it.
Mm.
But, like, me making it happen, very nervous.
The sound of an electric current on.
I couldn't use power tools for a very long time because I couldn't stand the sound, and knowing that I was going to be making the sound, I can't touch any of the try me buttons at the store. No go. I run away from them. My mom pokes every one of the try me buttons, and I run.
Oh, but that's the worst anyway. Everyone else has to suffer through that.
She loves it. It's her favorite thing to go down the toy aisle with the animatronics and push all the buttons.
It's like a Bart Simpson thing to do. I'm sorry.
It's like Donkey from Shrek. Let's do that again.
Yeah, 100%, and then I run.
I don't know. I'm just getting like secondhand social anxiety from you. It's like, oh no, every button in the toy aisle.
Yeah,
it's just chaos.
But it's because she truly wants to know what they do. Like, she'll sit there and watch all of them. Like,
okay, all right, that's a little.
She doesn't just go down like when a little kid rung like all the elevator buttons. It's not like that. She just truly wants to know what each one of them does.
Okay, that's what I was picturing. I was like, can you imagine when Furbies were around? Someone did something like that.
Oh no!
Customization.
I was gonna say for those of you who don't know what a Furby is, it's for the best.
Yeah, you should buy one and keep it in your bedroom.
It means you're younger than me.
Hey, they're coming back.
They are.
They're coming back.
Are they?
Yeah.
Who let that happen?
They're a little.
The great old one,
Hasbro.
The Elder God.
Yeah. There is no Hasbro. There's just a giant Furby making all the decisions.
Ruining Dungeons and Dragons wasn't enough. They had to go for resurrect the Furby.
It was eating into their Furby sales.
Hi.
Oh god. The worst is so if you pulled out the batteries, there was a decent chance that it still had enough charge in it to go just a little bit longer.
They had real beefy capacitors, yeah.
Yeah.
They would just keep going.
So you would yank out the batteries and it would still talk, and you were convinced your doll was a demon.
Yeah.
The soul is leaving its body slowly.
Or when the battery started to die, it would just go off on its own at any random times in the night. It'd be like 3 a.m. and be like, let's play! No! And you can still hear it from the closet.
Shattering away.
At least it wasn't that thing where it just starts going slowly.
I think they did that too.
If the battery started going, it would eventually.
They go completely haywire.
There's a reason people call them cursed.
Yeah. But if you ever want a fun afternoon, look up long Furbies.
Oh, they're great.
I love long Furbies.
Oh,
mostly because they don't work.
No, some of them do.
Oh, don't say that. Now I don't want them anymore.
They do work.
Yeah, so depending on the artist that makes the long Furbies, some of them make it so they work if they can find a real Furby. Other ones make the face molds from scratch.
Taxidermies.
Pretty much.
Hacks a Furby.
Okay, back to Tinderblox.
Customization, I think is where we're at, right?
Yeah.
I gave this a 1. It's such a simple game. There's not a whole lot you can do with it, in my opinion.
I gave it a 4 because I have done it where we can ignore the rule about hands. I've done it where you only use your non-dominant hand. I've done it where I've had random people come up and pull the cards. Like there's a decent amount of variation for this size of a game.
I gave it a 2. I could see something similar to what you were saying, having other people get involved. I could even see if you're doing this out and about, setting this up in an already precarious spot, like on a bar table or something, could make this even more difficult, more fun. People are going to be knocking it and stuff.
Yeah.
Solid 2.
Yeah.
I gave it I don't even know if you're supposed to do this. I gave it a 0.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. It's never happened before, but
It happens.
Has it? Has it happened?
Yeah,
we've had zeros before.
Have we?
Yeah, Spyfall.
Oh, yeah, we did do a 0. And Munchkin, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yep, Munchkin had a 0.
All right, it does happen, though. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I just figure, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's not much you can do to customize it. It's not, because it's a Jenga-type game, it's not like you can bring your own pieces or anything like that.
That's what I was originally thinking. Is like you could mix in like stuff you find at the bar, but then it's like you don't have the cards to play it. So it's
unless you're building the fire on an object, like if you're building it on top of the glasses that you've been drinking or something. But
so different scores all around for that.
Yeah. Ran the gambit. So on to personal enjoyment.
4.
I gave this a 2 again. For the very similar reasons to the rate of play. I feel like in a different environment, this would have felt a lot more fun. But as running a review on this, I mean, in a vacuum, it doesn't stand up as well. But well, like DropPolter, right? DropPolter, I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 for enjoyment. I love the heck out of that. But this just it doesn't have the same.
And you're not a huge party game person. So you're coming at it with a very different lens.
Which is hilarious, because when you were showing this to me on vacation, I was like, this is the one I'm probably going to like the most. And I was wrong.
I gave it a 4 for enjoyment. I mean, if you like Jenga, you'll like this. It's pretty similar. In fact, I think it's even better than Jenga because it's got a couple twists on it, Yeah.
No, I gave it a 3. I feel like this is a game that in and of itself is very fun. I think it would be more fun if I had some alcohol involved.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's every game, I think.
That's all party games.
You can even play Mario Party with some alcohol if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Did I
College pass, man.
have I
college
ever
pass.
shared on the podcast my tale of Mario Kart Double Dash?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I've
the
never heard this
undefeated.
story. So maybe after we're done, you can tell me.
Oh yeah. After the thing, there was a lot of underage liquor involved. We'll leave it at that. They're catching me on it now.
Bad, Ian.
Bad. You're not supposed to say that while we're recording.
I can very proudly say I did not drink until I was 21, mostly out of spite, but
Nerd.
I just wanted to be able to tell people I could do it.
Do you think I got this way by not drinking from like a young age? Look at me. Pinnacle of success. Genius, man.
Sophomore year of college, my roommate at the time, when their parents were out, threw a party at their house, and the only rule was they had to leave whatever liquor they didn't finish. So when we started off the semester, he had a chest.
I drunk. My first drink was at 19. I knew a guy named William Green. They called him Dollar Bill on the streets. And he was like, "Hey, drink this." I was like, "What?" It was Steel Reserve or something.
Oh my god, buddy, that is a start.
That's an introduction.
I was like, "Do I have to?" "Yes, you have to drink." I was like, "Okay, don't beat me up." So I drunk it. It was an interesting taste. It was like slightly gasoline-y.
That's probably the most generous review of Steel Reserve I've ever heard.
See, I did it right. I had Prosecco with peaches muddled in the bottom for my first drink.
I had a Miller High Life.
I turned my nose, but actually that sounds delicious.
It was. I really thought about it because I was like, "This is the first one. It's going to be freaking good." So I muddled the peaches.
Hero was scraping junk from the bottom of a barrel.
Yeah.
That's how I found out, by the way, that peppermint schnapps and birch beer basically makes a candy cane drink, which is actually delicious because we're like, what the hell are we going to do with peppermint schnapps?
Oh my god, peppermint schnapps, it's so old. No wonder you have like the tastes of like a 70-year-old man. You started on 70-year-old man.
I think that's the German in me, I'll be honest.
That's true, yeah. I like Jaeger as well, and that's an old people drink.
Would you recommend this game? Back to Tinderblox.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing a podcast.
I know, we're
board
just
games.
The problem with the
reliving
party
mistakes.
The problem with the party games is it puts us on such a good energy that we forget what we're doing because we're just having a good time. There's not
That's
a lot
what these
of
people
focus.
are here for anyway. They don't want to hear about the games.
They want to hear about our lives and our misdoings.
Only some of us are degenerates. That's all I'm saying.
I know
We'll make
I
a
am.
degenerate of you one day, Brooke.
Recommendations. I give it a 4.
I give it a 2.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know how many people I would be able to comfortably recommend this to, mainly just because I feel like it requires a level of attention and dexterity that not a lot of people in our friend group are either have or are willing to give to play.
Yeah.
That being said, I would still recommend it to the other half of the friend group.
The reason I bring this with me is because I can find non-board game people, and they are willing to play this game.
That's fair. That's fair. I didn't think about it like that.
Well, that's because I'm always trying to make new friends in awkward situations. I'm that weird stranger that goes up to you and tells you how pretty your shirt is in line at, like, the grocery store. So...
I feel like I'd burst into flames if you did that and I didn't know you. My social anxiety would just be like, oh no!
Yes, thank you. Yes. I gave it a 3 for recommendation. And it's a generous 3 for the same reasons that Will mentioned pretty much is usually if I'm going to play a game, I'm committing to a game. And I feel like this has that energy of it's something you pull out when you're doing something else. And which is fine, and it's just not for everyone. Some people, when they play a board game, they're expecting this to be a 2-hour ordeal with everyone mad at each other by the end of it.
Like Monopoly, or Risk, or Stratego.
Eclipse.
Yeah.
Cosmic Encounter.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
We do not speak of those times. Yeah.
I had fun.
And that's what matters.
Ace had fun too.
Right.
I personally gave it a 4. I think, I like simple games myself. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, as the song said. But I think that, it's simple. You can pick it up and play it. Boom, boom, boom. Knock it over, try to get next round. It's easy.
Replayability.
I've played this a lot, so I gave it a 4.
Wow, that's a lot of 4s, Brooke.
That is a lot of 4s.
They're not all 4s. There's a 2.
That's yeah, you're right. You did give it a 2. I should have paid attention. I gave it a 3 for replay value as well. Pretty much for the same reasons. I don't think we actually went over cost on this. Just real quick.
So this one costs $11 to $15. You can easily find it on sale on Amazon. That's where I got my copy. It's full retail though if you go to a brick and mortar shop for it.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, not that it's not worth the money. I guess if you're looking for a quick and easy party game, this is very inexpensive. Because I think like other party games we played are like 30, 40 sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Wrong Party was in that range.
35, I think.
These are a little different because they're backpack style games, so they tend to be on the less expensive side, just because of the nature of what they're meant to do, which is to pitch into backpacks.
Yeah, so for clarification, both of these tins and boxes are smaller than your standard deck of like Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, so like
the small decks.
They would fit in the water bottle pouch of your backpack.
Yeah.
Not that I've done that.
I'm sure you haven't.
No, that'd be uncouth.
Yeah, I wish I had this in high school. This would be a fun game to play during lunchtime.
That is true.
Oh my god.
That is very true. Or any of the free times where they stuck us in the giant cafeteria because they had nowhere else to put us.
Back in my day, all we had was Palace to play.
That's really just more our high school, though.
Yeah. Well, our high school, it's not even like that anymore. There's 2 cafeterias on the campus now. 2.
Wow.
For freshmen, we'll have one their own, and then everybody else has the main cafeteria.
Did you go to the high school down the road?
No, I think maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to just for like a semester or 2.
I'm going to bleep the name. Just not really important at this point, but
We've done it so many times.
yeah.
Now they can geolocate us because they know we're down the road.
They can geolocate you. Actually.
yeah, about that, Ian. It's a 2-way street.
It's a long street, though.
In my defense, it changes names when we get to this part.
Well, shit.
Would you buy it?
Yeah.
I gave it a 2 out of 2.
Out of 2? Okay, yeah. I give it a 1. I would buy it if I happened to see it and I was like going on a vacation, very specific circumstances. I wouldn't rush out to a store to get this.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I would probably get this game if it were available in my direct eye line, or like I had to get this as a gift for somebody else. I think I would give this as a gift more than I would get it for myself.
I buy it. I think it's a fun little game. Yeah, something quick and easy. You pop it out, play it a little bit, have a good time. Yeah, I'd buy it.
Okay.
So final scores.
I am very excited about my score because this is the first time we've ever done this in the podcast, but this got a 42 out of 42. This is the pinnacle of party games for me, I'll be honest. It does what I need a party game to do in the best ways.
I gave it a 38 out of 42. It's a fun game. I'm going to buy it. And, I feel like you could have a good time.
33 out of 42.
32 out of 42. Which brings us to 36 total.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Still pretty
Sorry,
easy.
I drove down that score.
No, that's it. That would make sense because, like, I find this to be everything I need from it. But as you pointed out, a lot of things that wouldn't work for you in your life with this game. That's why we do this.
I mean, on average, it's about 1 point lower than DropPolter. They're both pretty high.
Yeah,
Nice
they're
scoring.
both really they both register well on our lists.
Now, here's a question for you guys. Out of the two, which one did you like better?
DroPolter.
Yeah, like better, DropPolter. Use more, Tinderblox.
Yeah. I think
Tinderblox is more consistent for me. DropPolter is very hit or miss.
I just like DropPolter, and I like the energy that DropPolter brought to the game table.
We were in a really good mood starting this recording.
Oh,
off.
yeah.
You didn't answer your own question. Which one would you prefer?
I think I like DropPolter.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them both, honestly, but DropPolter was pretty fun.
That was so fun.
Which sucks you can't get it more easily.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe this podcast will change that. There'll be a big demand. There'll be a sweeping change. Everyone will be calling the company like, DropPolter. DropPolter.
All right, I need all 30 of you right now.
Get in contact with Paul Schultz at Oink Games at oinkgames.com. That's easy. Do it. Bully them.
Yeah.
Don't bully them. Send them strongly worded letters.
Okay.
Got to cover our bases on that one.
So, thank you guys for listening. This was our little backpack games to start off our Camping with the Bards happening in August. So, if you guys want to participate, it's Will, you're doing...
I'm doing mini paintings
Yep.
one day every week. I wish I had the calendar open to give you an exact date.
I'll put the calendar up in the Discord so that everyone can see, just like last year. We'll be covering, so I and Max, who we've had on the podcast a couple times, will be doing Unrailed and Stardew Valley. So we're going to do a Stardew Valley game together.
I'm going to be doing Anime Campaign System, Brendan Blaver's RPG system that he made ages ago. They did the Epithet Erased series based on. We've covered it on the podcast. It is actually our most popular episode, so I feel like why not go for gold. So I think that's going to be 11th and 18th, and maybe the next Sunday if we run long. And I'll have Brooke and Will and Max and maybe one other person
And
to
then,
be determined.
And then what was Larry doing for his?
He's doing Jackbox, and he'll be doing it Thursdays, and I think the day after this podcast airs, on the 1st, will be the first...
So that's going to be Jackbox opening night, and I think we were going to try and have
all of us on.
the majority of the bards on.
So if you want to get involved with that, grab us on Discord, come right in. We'll be having the schedule up there. We'd love to have you there. This is a big community event for us, and we want to have fun with you guys.
Yep.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
Yeah.
You know our socials at this point.
Yeah,
but
dancingwiththebard@gmail.com if you want to suggest something to us. Do you still use Crater?
We have Mastodon, we have Blue Sky. I still check all them all the time. X, I'll be on occasionally just to see if we get any notifications in the gaming news.
And those are Dancing
Facebook,
with the Bards.
Yeah, Dancing with the Bards.
And the only thing that's different in our socials is for some reason on Twitch we had to go with Bards. So if you want to find us on Twitch, it's with Bards. Okay?
Also join our Discord.
Thank you.
I love you.